Hey guys and gals, Space Ferrari 248 here, or Alex, bringing you a discussion video as well as the start of a new discussion series called What I Like About. Talking about things or people I am a big fan of that tend to get a lot of unfair flack. This series is in a way similar to Ranter and Shades' video series called What's Wrong With, where he talks about the band that or bands that he likes that tend to get a lot of unfair flack, let alone silly reasons to be hated on. Most of the bands that he talked to, I happen to be a big fan of as well. Especially Metallica, as I am wearing a shirt of them right now, off the best album ever, Master of Puppets. First, of course, as the title suggests, I will be talking about what I like about this particular person, musician, athlete, band, genre, or subgenre, movie, TV show, or whatever the topic happens to be.
What I like about you, you hold me tight. Tell me I'm the only one, wanna come over tonight. Yeah. Phone whispering in my ear, tell me all the things that I wanna hear.
This video series, of course, will open up with me talking about what I like about Jimmie Johnson, as the title says, and the second half will be debunking the flack that he tends to get. First thing about Jimmie Johnson I like. He's clearly a nice guy. Reasons? He congratulates other drivers when they win, even outside of his team. Very devoted to his family, Chad Knaus, his team, and in most cases, his former teammates. However, in 2005, there was a time where they were thinking about parting ways as Jimmie kept failing to get a championship, and 2005 was a year where Jimmie was slightly dimming down from 2004, as 2004 was an unbelievable year for Jimmie Johnson, and 2005 was a slight step down. It was still a good year for him, but it was dimming down, as he was practically the only Hendrick car that made the chase that year. He had a great year that year, but he was still slightly dimming down. He pretty much was the only Hendrick car. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm repeating myself. I'm overreading the script. I'm sorry about that. Also, if that's not enough to tell you, here's a slideshow of pictures of Jimmie Johnson congratulating drivers. A massive load. I massed a lot more than I could have used for this slideshow, but I don't think I need to spam the video for the next 5 minutes showing every single picture of Jimmie Johnson congratulating drivers. It shouldn't be that much of an overload to prove you guys that he is a nice and classy guy. Not to mention that in Atlanta in 2016, after he got his 76th career win, he did the number 3 salute for Dale Earnhardt, as Dale Earnhardt's number of wins is 76, and when Jimmie Johnson got his 76th win at Atlanta, he did a lap around Atlanta saluting number 3. That, my friends, is a definition of a classy guy. If that's not enough to tell you, then I don't know what is. I mean, I'm not saying that you have to like Hendrick drivers. I'm not saying they're the classiest, but I just feel like that Jimmie Johnson is the best pick as my favorite driver, along with Chase Elliott and Jeff Gordon, even though that Jeff Gordon is retired. But even if he is retired, he's still my first favorite driver. When I was 2 years old, I thought I would pick Jeff Gordon as my favorite driver, and then only a few years later in 2002, I started to become a huge fan of Jimmie Johnson when I saw both their cars at some kind of store. I forget what it was, but the store is closed now. I was 5 years old at the time, and it was back in April 2002. I think it was April 12th, 2002, and I thought it was pretty cool that Jimmie Johnson and Jeff Gordon were a duo, since I even saw Jimmie Johnson race in person in 2001 New Hampshire Busch Series race. Well, that was back when they were called the Busch Series race. They're now called the Xfinity Series. For 15 years, I've been seeing a lot of NASCAR races, and I also saw Jimmie Johnson win 3 times in person. 2003 Loudon Summer, 2010 Loudon Summer, with the bump and run on Kurt Busch, and lately his win in the 2015 FedEx 400 at Dover. I also got to see him win his 6th championship in 2013, which was, in a way, very emotional for me, since I always wanted to see him win something big in person, and it was especially big since I always wanted to see him specifically win at least his 6th or 7th. And here's a video clip of his win of my video clip of him winning at Dover and his 6th championship. And second, he always has a great attitude, even when the most negative or the worst that could ever happen occurs to him. Reasons? Well, just look at his interview at the 2012 Homestead Miami race, since he pretty much said stuff happens and there's nothing you could do about it, and there's always next year. And what do you know? 2013, he won the championship, and I saw it in person. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, but that was like the best day of one of the best days of my life. I'm sorry, it was just too damn awesome to see him win that championship back in 2013. And it's not just that either. In 2014, when he failed to make the 3rd round back in Talladega, and when he had an axle broken back at Dover in 2015. If that's not enough to tell you that Jimmie Johnson has a great attitude and sounds very polite even when he's at rock bottom in racing, then I honestly am going to think that you're insane, and think if you're going to say that Jimmie Johnson is a hateable person, even after all of that I just showed. And most importantly, he never gives up. That's pretty much the same thing. I pretty much am going to say the same thing as my previous answer as to why he's got a great attitude, but he never gives up. That's the kind of attitude you want when you're a NASCAR driver. The same can be said to Dale Earnhardt Jr., who hasn't won for 4 years until 2012 Michigan. And same with Jeff Gordon. I mean, Jeff Gordon, it may have seemed that he was watered down for a championship, but he still never gave up. He always went out. He went out without a fight in the 2015 season, since he made the final round. I mean, it's the same. It shouldn't be just said for Hendrick Motorsports drivers either. Just Also, look at Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr., who else? Carl Edwards, Kevin Harvick, a lot of those drivers. The same thing can even be said for Kyle Busch. He broke his leg in the 2015 season and still came back to win the championship. Well, because the new chase system sucks ass anyways, so I'm not trying to ridicule the Kyle Busch fans, but if it really weren't for that, I'm not necessarily going to try to go off topic, but sorry, but there's no way he would have won that without this terrible, terrible chase. I'm just saying, does Jimmie Johnson ever throw a fist fight at anyone? No. Does he have a great attitude even when he's at rock bottom? Yes. Is he a nice guy and congratulates other drivers even when they're not his teammates? Yes. Does he ever give up? No. That's the kind of attitude I like in a driver, and that's the kind of attitude you want to have when you're a NASCAR driver. No offense to you, Tony Stewart, I still love you, but you're kind of, as usual, you kind of lose your head whenever somebody gives you some kind of love tap when racing, but oh, and by the way, Jimmie Johnson back in 2006, he won the Daytona 500 and Las Vegas, a non-restrictor plate race, no less, without Chad Canal. So don't give me the whole, oh, Jimmie Johnson can't win without Chad Canal's bullshit. I could say the same garbage about Richard Petty saying he can't win, he couldn't have won 200 wins, 7 championships without Dale Inman. You'd throw a bitch fit at me, wouldn't you? So knock it off with this double standard bullshit. An example of him never giving up is the 2006 Brickyard 400. He had a flat tire in the middle of the race, but still bounced back and won it. A non-winning example of him never giving up would also have to be the 2013 Loudon Summer Race. I was there, by the way, where he had to go to 43rd place, known as last place, because he had illegal adjustments during qualifying to his splitter, but still bounced back and finished 6th place. Impressive, huh? That should definitely tell you that he didn't cheat that race, because he was definitely inspected before going out into the racetrack. Another would also have to be his whole luck at the Daytona 500. His average finish from 2007 to 2012, I'm sorry, the bad rate, there was just not enough storage nonsense, was at least 30th as he kept wrecking and finishing poorly. But then he bounced back to 2013. Oh, and by the way, Jimmie Johnson back in 2013, I think I already mentioned this in this video, but in case if I haven't, he helped a United States soldier reunite with his family back in November 2013. What do you say now, you haters? Still think he's a horrible person? Oh, also, because of his win at Dover in 2015, I got the 124 car of his win car at Dover. Usually, I never really buy 124 cars. I normally go for the 164 cars, but this was too special to not buy. It's fucking awesome with all that awesome confetti. I might make a review on this later on. Alright, I already told you guys what I liked about Jimmie Johnson. Now let's get to debunking the flack. Flack number 1 would have to be, he has no personality, he's boring. Here are some clips of him clearly showing emotions in these videos, and him taking the win seriously.
If you don't think he's going to be one of the greatest, think
You're
again.
looking at the 5-time champion.
You're looking at him.
Yeah! Woo! You guys are the best! Boy. Unbelievable! Yeah! Woo!
Some more, please.
We won the Daytona 500! Woo!
He can thank Dale Jr. for that. Second year, Dale Jr. has come on late and finished second. Belongs to Jimmie Johnson in the Southern 500. There you go, Mr. Rick. Got you one.
Again, checkered flag, career win 23, Denny Hamlin, your winner at Homestead Miami Speedway. Matt Kenseth will finish second, and here he comes, champion for the sixth time, it's Jimmie Johnson.
2013, excuse me. Yes, yes, yes! Thank you guys. What a race team. You guys are amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, my man.
There was plenty of others I could have used, but like I said before, I don't need to overload the video with all of his emotions. Also, don't whine about him being frustrated and angry when he's having a tough time in racing, and then at the exact same time go off saying he has a personality of a cardboard box. Those two statements are very contradictory and very oxymoronic. You can't say he's a whiny bitch and then say he's boring the next. It doesn't work like that. Do you want him to have emotions or not? Make up your mind, or else you just look like a complete and utter idiot, showing double standards like that. Besides, I already explained how Jimmie Johnson is a nice guy. No need to repeat myself entirely in this section of debunking the flack. This also leads me to believe most of you uneducated morons are only using the term "he's boring" card to justify your illogical hate towards him. And it definitely makes you look insecure, not to mention most of the haters use homophobic slurs to insult him, which is very childish. Refer to the Jimmie Johnson Bashing Book Facebook page, please. Yeah, Jimmy totally is the immature one here. Fucking hypocrites. You practically only hate him because he wins. Just like how people hate the Yankees because they win. Even though I like to mock the Yankees sometimes as a Red Sox fan. Flack number 2. He always wins. So, if you were Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt, Richard Petty, Cale Yarbrough, Kyle Busch, mainly for the lower series, Lee Petty, and so many other NASCAR legends, or even fans of drivers outside of NASCAR, Dario Franchitti, Michael Schumacher, Sebastian Vettel, John Force, or even fans of athletes outside of racing such as Michael Jordan, Bill Russell, LeBron James, Tom Brady, etc., saying that, I'd consider that very hypocritical. Also, if you're looking for a sport, or a motorsport no less, whether it's not a single athlete or a team dominating races or seasons all the time, then you practically got the wrong sport. Besides, there's always going to be that one driver that wins all the time, yet there's still going to be a crap ton of lead changes in several races. I hope you know that. Also, at least give the man credit that he's done a lot of amazing success in NASCAR over the years. It's not just his 6 championships either. It's also his 2 Daytona 500 wins, 2 Southern 500 wins, well, 3 if you count his sweep, his other race win in 2004, 4 Coca-Cola 600 wins, 4 All-Star race wins, and I forget how many shootouts he won, but I remember his first one was in 2005, and has the most wins on the 1.5 mile tracks, and the most wins at Dover. 10 wins at Dover, no less. Oh, and also 4 Brickyard 400 wins. And he might as well be the next Dale Earnhardt, Jeff Gordon, David Pearson, and Richard Petty. You know what? Fuck it. He already is. He already is a legend. So why do I need to keep waiting for whatever success there is to come? He's already done probably everything you can achieve in NASCAR. Or almost everything. Because whether there was a chase or not, you gotta admit, Jimmie Johnson is one talented driver. Even if there wasn't a chase, he would still have at least 3 championships or 4 championships, because if there was no chase, a lot of these teams would be handling things in a much more different way. For example, Kevin Harvick would have won the championship in 2010, but in reality, he won a different crew chief in 2012, but things weren't going anywhere for him in 2012, so he got Gil Martin back in the second half of 2012. So if the chase didn't exist, then probably Kevin Harvick wouldn't have asked for another crew chief in 2012. Flack number 3. He pays NASCAR to let him cheat. Why did I even have to add that as a flack in this video? Do you have any proof, you fucking moron? Where's your evidence? You need to provide serious evidence if you're gonna pull a delusional claim like that straight out of your ass. Do you even listen to yourself when you say this nonsense? God. This also leads me to believe that some of the Jimmie Johnson haters are probably the biggest morons in the NASCAR fan base ever. And you people thought junior fans were bad? Look at these morons! The next, this is probably the most common flack he's ever gotten. He's a cheater! Everyone cheats in NASCAR. What are you talking about? We'll explore that more when or if I make a video about the word cheating. If you seriously think Jimmie Johnson's the biggest cheater in NASCAR history, I highly doubt you did your research on the history of NASCAR. Do you not know about Richard Petty's big engine in 1983 at Charlotte? Or the MWR cheat at Richmond in 2013? Or Jeff Gordon's entirely illegal car at the All-Star race in 1997? I mean, I am a huge Jeff Gordon fan, by the way, as I said earlier. And wasn't Kyle Busch just caught cheating last week at a truck race after winning, no less, let alone several times in the lower series and the Cup Series, not to mention got caught cheating after winning races in the lower series? The only time I remember Jimmie Johnson being accused of cheating after winning is the 2005 Las Vegas race. Did Jimmie Johnson ever intentionally spin out to help somebody into the chase? No. Did he ever pit on the restart to help someone in the chase? No. Therefore, Jimmie Johnson isn't the biggest cheater in NASCAR. Also, Martin Truex Jr. was just caught cheating after winning at Chicagoland recently. He won the race, no less. Why bitch at Jimmie Johnson getting busted for cheating when he didn't even win the race? But ignore the winner that got caught. You know, where's Martin Truex Jr.'s flack, let alone Richard Petty's flack or Jeff Gordon's flack? Well, Jeff Gordon got a lot of flack in the 90s and 2000s, so never mind that. Those are some double standards you got there, you idiots. Then again, you're Jimmie Johnson hater, so what else do I expect from you fuckers? And don't give me the generic and obscure example of Jimmie Johnson cheating with that video at Talladega in 2011. He didn't even win that race, and he didn't even get a top 25. Do you not know about Denny Hamlin wrecking his car at Pocono after winning in 2010? Or Carl Edwards in 2011 at the All-Star race? Or Kyle Busch damaging his car at Kansas in 2016? Why is only Jimmie Johnson looked upon? Why make him your primary target? If you already knew about these cheats I gave you, or examples of cheats I gave you, and you still think Jimmie Johnson is the biggest cheater, then I'm honestly going to think you're delusional to the max. This is no disrespect to Richard Petty, nor Jeff Gordon, nor MWR nowadays. Well, I don't think MWR is seemingly not existent anymore. But I clearly said that I am a Jeff Gordon fan, whether retired or not, so don't think I am dissing somebody whenever I point out that they cheated. Oh, and by the way, I was pissed off to the max when MWR did cheat, because that screwed Jeff Gordon out of the chase. But we're not going to get too far into that now, as this is about Jimmie Johnson, not MWR. And finally, the final flack I hear. His fans are bandwagon fans. Those aren't even flacks against Jimmie Johnson. It's flacks against his fan base. I clearly have been a fan of Jimmie Johnson since April 2002. Didn't I not clearly say that in the video earlier? And this is not me trying to say I'm better than most of his fans. I mean that I've been a big fan of his since I was 5 years old, and there's old pictures of me to prove that I am a longtime Jimmie Johnson fan. So, what do you idiots say now? Also, tell me more how much of a fuck you gave about Denny Hamlin, Brad Keselowski, Matt Kenseth, and several more drivers before they were threats to Jimmie Johnson losing a championship. Because every time someone challenges dominators of NASCAR, such as Jimmie Johnson, Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, and more, they become fans of the drivers that are threats to them after they fail to beat them or succeed in beating them to the championship. None of them give a rat's ass about those drivers years down the road. They forgot they fucking exist. For example, Denny Hamlin. In 2010, he got an anal load of love from Jimmie Johnson haters, and then after Denny Hamlin and Kevin Harvick were defeated, they all forgot they fucking existed after the 2010 season ended. NASCAR fan bases kills me. They have so many double standards, it's insane. How Jimmie Johnson fans are the ones looked upon, as well as junior fans, by the way, is mind-blowing. Anyways, that's my video. And this is the part where I ask you, the viewers, what do you like about Jimmie Johnson, and what do you hate about Jimmie Johnson? Please be rational when leaving your comments in the section down below. And before I end the video, if you're gonna make delusional claims, please do your research. This is it for the video, and take care and have a good day, folks. Space out, everyone.